Hi everyone, this is Zan101 back with Tuckhog, going to do an English commentary of a game between Flash and Horang2 in the Shinhan Proleague played recently on the map Neo Medusa. This should be a pretty good map. Pretty good match. Sorry, I'm a big Flash fan. I really love his play. He's so dominant when he's playing well. He's been in a little bit of a slump, but that being said, a slump for Flash isn't really that big of a slump. I mean, he hasn't been winning any individual leagues or anything like that. He's been doing okay, nothing spectacular, but he still dominates the Pro League. I mean, this kid's nuts. What is he, like 16, 17, with 60% across the board, like mid to high 60s? That's nuts. I mean, yeah, what's not to like? And I don't know about Horang2. I haven't actually seen him play, I don't think. I don't know if these guys have played before. If they have, feel free to recommend me any games that they have, you guys. Just tell me if you want them cast. But anyway, what are your predictions for this game, Tuckhog?
Well, I think you really summed it up, really. I hope Flash absolutely stomps him. That's just my personal, thoughts. Sort of speaking unbiasedly, I think that Flash does have the advantage. He's just played so many more games. He's just so much more experienced, and I think just a better player. Horang is a really new player. This map is Neo Medusa. So far, it's had about 10 or 11 games played on it, and it is quite Terran favoured, somewhere in about 67%. So I think that I think we can expect Flash to win.
Yeah, definitely. What's going to be the interesting part of this match is the build that Flash chooses to go, because the changes to Neo Medusa do give the Terran a whole lot more options. I mean, the old Medusa was cracked ground everywhere. You couldn't actually build anything in the middle of the map, and that's changed. And it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We're in sync?
Yep, I think so.
Excellent. Alright, so like I was saying, this map is a lot more favoured towards Terran now. It's a bit hard to say whether it's going to be a Terran-dominated map in this matchup, but I think certainly it's going to be a lot more equal compared to what it was before. Horang2 looking a bit relaxed, and Flash just sort of, chilling. He's the robot. He doesn't have to worry a lot. Before, generally what we saw the Terran player do was almost always invariably go Siege Fast Expand. I mean, we saw a few exceptions here and there, but it was generally considered the strongest build on this map for this matchup, and it's a very safe build. 10-15 gate on this map is still very strong, but I think the Terran have a lot more options. I think the Terran could get away with possibly going for an earlier factory push and try and contain the Protoss. It'll be interesting to see what Horang2 decides to go, whether he decides to go like a 12 or 14 next or early pressure. I think it would be better for him to go early pressure. I think Flash really thrives on the later game macro, and I think he's definitely a lot more dominant in that area of play. Although, that being said, his rushes are ridiculous. He's pretty well famed for those, but I think he's definitely a very strong macro player. So it looks like he's picking up his barracks and his gas at the same time, probably 12-12, I'm guessing. Yeah, pretty standard play so far. Horang2 picking up his
before the supply depot was finished.
Oh, was he? Or maybe.
So yeah, I think it was about 8 minutes.
So yeah, going a bit more aggressive actually. Flash choosing to go a little bit early on the factory, it seems, or at least early with the barracks. Maybe choosing to do a little bit more early pressure and less of an economic game, which I kind of like. Sure, macro games are really fun to watch. They can be fun to watch, and but I still like these sort of shorter, sharper, a little more brutal games. I think they're a little bit more exciting. And it looks like Horang2 might be setting up for some proxy tech inside his base, so we'll probably be seeing some form of drop. Maybe he looks. I think he might try and full flash, and make it look like he's going for something else, like one base into expansion, or maybe a 10-15 gate. But when in reality, he's probably going to be getting some proxy tech.
I think Flash is seeing up to the gateway. Horang's going for probably a 2-gate compression. It's just scouting around. He might not be free.
Yeah, it looks like Horang2 has actually put down a Citadel of Ardun. So he's going to be going for earlier DTs, interestingly enough. Far earlier than you would normally if you chose to go drop. But they are going to be walking to Flash's base. And if Flash chooses to get mines, which I have a feeling that he might, because he's not really blocked his choke at all. Doesn't look like he's going for a fast command center at all. I think he's going to be going for those early upgrades and an early push. These DT probably aren't going to be that effective, because mines are pretty good at taking out Dark Templar if placed well, and Flash certainly has the game sense and the experience to place mines well enough to ward off DTs. I'm not sure that this build is so good from Horang, actually. I don't know how long ago he scouted Flash, or if he has it all, but
I don't think he has, actually.
yeah, part of the 10-15 gate is generally that you don't need to scout that early at all. Looks like his Templar archives is up, so he's going to be getting this Dark Templar out very soon. But you don't need to scout that often, because you're safe against most early pressure.
He's really flying lines here. It is double-edged sword. You do have those early units out, but then you don't really know if your opponent's chasing you, or if he's these DTs out now. So.
Definitely, I agree. And Flash is actually pushing out now with an FD push, a bunch of Marines and a tank followed up by Vultures, which will have mines. He actually sees the invisible Dark Templar, so he knows Dark Templar are walking towards base. He's putting down mines. I've got to think that these Dark Templar are going to be taking out. Those mines are pretty well placed, so that at least they're going to hit the Dark Templar. I imagine he'll be putting down detection very soon now, and I think this build from Horang2 is going to fail. Mine going off on one Dark Templar, taking a hit, one Dark Templar, looks like it's not going to go down, looks like it's going to go down now, one Dark Templar going down,